Hi, and welcome to the first mastery video in this Magnetic Man Initiation 2.0. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 most common mistakes that men make in their relationship to themselves and their sexual energy. And then the 3 mastery skills that you need to learn, practice, and master if you truly want to shift your experience in this part of your life. I have deep compassion for the challenges that men experience in learning to love and accept themselves, feel confident and powerful, and be open to sharing themselves in relationship with women. It's out of my experience with men and my compassion for your plight that I've gleaned these 3 common sticking points. So let's dive right in. Mistake number 1. Basing their sense of self on external, which are often faulty and incomplete, models of masculinity, and then never questioning those models. Whether it be male role models who are actually in their lives, like dad, brother, uncle, coach, teacher, or if it's sports heroes, TV characters, comic book characters, right? These models are often faulty, they're incomplete, or they're limiting in some way. Limiting because they often depict masculinity as being invulnerable, always knowing what to do, always in charge, always getting the girl, and they leave you with the idea that only men who are powerful or famous or wealthy deserve to be respected and loved. Now, it's not bad to be strong. It's not bad to be powerful or to have money or fame. It's not bad to want to be respected, and it's definitely not bad to want to get the girl. But if your internal model of masculinity limits your self-expression or leads you to repress, deny, ignore, or reject some part of yourself, I invite you to release that old, outdated program and redefine masculinity for yourself. So let's dive right into mastery skill number 1. Mastering acceptance of self. And this is about looking within to find your strengths and letting them guide you to define your own model of authentic masculinity. So ask yourself, what are your strengths and your gifts? Really take a moment to go inside, take a breath, connect to your inner self, and ask, when is it that you feel the most powerful in your life in a balanced and loving way, right? Not a way that is dominating others or taking from others or trying to compete with others, but that actually lets you shine. When do you feel yourself shining in your life? When do you feel that you're most supportive of others? What gifts and talents and qualities of yours allow you to make a contribution? Now, if you have that pen and paper handy that I mentioned you might want to have nearby, maybe you can write a few of these down. You'll want to remember these. You need to have a clear awareness of what you have to offer. And now take some of these gifts and talents and make a power statement of masculine power that's reinforcing your commitment to recognize these authentic parts of yourself as making up your new masculine paradigm. I'm a man who smiles to help people feel better. I'm a man who shares the best of myself with those around me. I'm a man who always looks for a way to contribute to my environment, to my surroundings, and to the people I find myself around. Make your statements simple and to the point, and now make a commitment to yourself to say 1 or more of these statements to yourself whenever you need some reassurance. Now we're going to dive right into mistake number 2, which is avoiding, repressing, criticizing, or otherwise rejecting your vulnerability and especially your emotions. So many men in our culture learn that the world does not accept their emotions, and this is a big problem for humanity at large. Men who feel disconnected from their own hearts and their own vulnerability are more likely to be willing to harm others, to be indifferent to other people's pain, and to resort to violence if they feel insulted or disrespected in some way, right? The truth is that within every great man is a precious, innocent, creative, imaginative little boy. He's the source of your playfulness and your capacity for intimacy. He is the source of your inspiration and your greatest source of your genius. In this world, children stop being children younger and younger these days, and we're left with a world full of disconnected, uninspired, and wounded adults. This is a vicious cycle. These adults then create a more disconnected world in which the innocence of childhood continues to be lost at earlier and earlier ages. Now project that into the future a few more generations and see if that's a future that you want for your children, for your grandchildren, and so on. So now we get to mastery skill number 2. Mastering service to your soul. This is building a relationship of interconnectedness with yourself. Can you remember yourself as a teenager, as an adolescent, as a child? All of these different versions of you, they still live inside of you. And what happens as adults is when we face challenging situations in our lives, the parts of us, those younger versions of ourselves that didn't get the love, the support, the guidance, the reassurance that they needed to feel resilient and unconditionally worthy of love and support when they were young, they get triggered. Now, many of us respond to being triggered in different ways. Some of us get angry, some of us get scared and we shrink or we run away. It's as though our adult self goes out the window and we're left feeling like a helpless child, adolescent, or teenager. We need to learn as adults to recognize when we're being triggered and allow our adult self to be the loving adult that our inner child, adolescent, or teenager needed and still needs. The deeper we go, we discover that this inner child is the doorway to our soul, to the child within that's already innocent, pure, and forgiven, with beautiful gifts and talents to share with the world, to make it a beautiful heavenly playground for ourselves, for those we love, and for the world at large. Can you get behind that? And firstly, can you just get behind that relationship to your own inner child, your own soul, and this desire that you have to create a beautiful life? Go inside and remember a recent situation in which you found yourself triggered. Can you find the place in your body where that feeling resides? Close your eyes and see if you can get a sense of how old this part of you is. Is it a child, an adolescent, a teenager? What is this part of you feeling? And what does it need? Connect to the capable adult inside of you, the man that goes to work, that gets things done, that's had some success, and let that adult part of you offer some reassurance to this younger part of you that's feeling needy right now. Can you make a commitment to yourself to have a loving internal dialogue with your child self whenever you're feeling triggered? So we're going to jump right into mistake number 3, and this is being undecided as to what your sexual energy means to you. So many of us, men and women, we're left in the dark during our sexual awakening. There is no wise, loving adult to help us create meaning and to find acceptance, understanding, and maturity in relationship to this big energy as it's coming to life inside of our bodies, right? We're just left to fend for ourselves. In the media, pornography, sometimes our misinformed friends and siblings fill in the gaps for us. For most of us, we know that sex is meant to bring us pleasure, that it's ideal when it happens with another person present, and that sometimes sex and love can even go together. But we don't truly understand the full power of our sexual energy and the difference between using it kindly and wisely and just using it, or using our partners for that matter. This huge gap in our self-awareness means that all kinds of unhealthy behaviors, relationships, emotions, and ideas about sex can creep in and become a part of our adult sexual self. Our sexuality often becomes trapped in the lowest levels of our consciousness. This is the place where darkness, loneliness, selfishness, confusion, addiction, fear, and shame can take a hold of this beautiful energy and distort it beyond recognition. All of us have these shadow parts of ourselves, and when we're not aware of what we're using our sexual energy for, the shadow can get really tangled up in this beautiful energy. So mastery skill number 3 is mastery of your sacred seed. This is about reclaiming the power of your sexual, creative, life force energy in the name of your highest vision of yourself as a man. Your sexual energy is creative life force energy. It is your sacred seed. If you make love with a woman at the right time of the month and nature gets a hold of your seed, it will create a whole new being. This is the ultimate creativity, right? And when you're not making babies, this energy still holds your creative potential, your sacred seed, guys. It's really important for you to grasp this concept and understand how powerful this energy is. Whenever you release your sacred seed, it will create something in your life. If you don't consciously choose the thoughts, feelings, intentions that you want this energy to be a part of creating with and for you in your life, guess what? Those lower aspects of your psyche that I mentioned before, where darkness, selfishness, and shame live, they will take a hold of this energy and they will start creating their will with it in your life. This is why so many people find themselves in messy, unwanted situations when they let their sexual desire run amok in their lives. No consciousness, no choice, no awareness of what they're creating with their sacred seed. It creates chaos. It's not sex or sexual energy that's causing the problem. It's being completely undecided as to what you want your sexual energy to mean to you as a man. And therefore you're unconscious of the creative power of your sacred seed. Tantric men learn to master the art of joining a clear intention with the powerful skills for ejaculatory control. So these tantric men are able to infuse their sexual energy, all its passion and pleasure, with an intention that's aligned with the man they're choosing to be in their life, using these and other techniques to saturate their being with sexual energy and the power of their sacred creative seed. So see if you can take a moment to ask yourself, what kind of feelings, qualities, emotions, capacities, intentions do you want your sexual energy to create with and for you in your life? Is it integrity? Is it courage, passion, inspiration, generosity? The possibilities are endless. But once you have this sex magic intention, you'll want to start bringing it into presence. Doesn't matter whether you're alone or with someone, this energy is still powerfully creative. So see if you can join me in this Magnetic Man initiation exercise. I want you to bring your dominant hand to rest on your genitals and your non-dominant hand to rest on your heart. And let yourself close your eyes, go inside, and with your breath, imagine you're making a powerful connection between these two parts of yourself. You can recall the statement of masculine power that you reflected on earlier, your gifts, your talents. Say this to yourself with meaning and feeling. You can say it inwardly or outwardly. What matters most is that you mean it. Now connect to the intention that you set for your sexual energy, for your sacred seed, with your hand on your magic wand. It's one of the terms I use to refer to your special, special instrument. Imagine that you are dedicating your sacred seed to this intention. Now with your imagination, visualize breathing your reclaimed sexual energy from your genitals up through your belly into your heart, connecting it with your love. And now that your sacred seed and your love are joined with this highest intention for your sexual self, for the man that you're becoming, make a commitment to yourself to remember these intentions and this power. Make a commitment to connecting with your inner divine masculine, to mastering acceptance of self, to mastering your sacred seed, and to mastering service to your soul, that divine self inside, and bringing this part of you, this essence of you, into your life, into your connections with women, and into your relationships. And I wish you the very best in bringing to life the magnetic man that you already are. Namaste.